Hey girl, how you doing? Welcome back. Okay, because we're about to do another tarot investigation. I have a new case that just came across my desk today concerning this young lady right here. If you haven't heard, she's the astrology or the astrologer who was, named as a person that offed her entire family. Okay, after the solar eclipse. Now they're trying to say that it was that is the cause of everything is the solar eclipse. And I just wanted to feel like, okay, what's deeper is deeper than this. What's really going on in this situation? So I wanted to pull some cards on it to kind of see, if I can get some insight, because we can't get insight from her, because after she did everything that she needed to do to, or that she felt that she needed to do to her family, she then, took, matters into her own hand and offed herself. So the article that I pulled up here is, it reads, the horrific ordeal came to an end when influencer and recording artist Daniella Johnson, who posted "The apocalypse is here" in all caps online days before the incident, that she drove her car into a tree, offing herself. Now, she had an account that was on X, better known as Twitter, that she had over 100,000 followers, where she was talking about the apocalypse. She was talking about days that led up to the solar eclipse. Now, a lot of people was talking about that because the solar eclipse was a big event, okay? So, up until April the 8th and even afterwards, people are still talking about it. So, I guess people didn't see anything that was a big deal about that. But, the fact that she was talking about the apocalypse, okay? And I'm like, girl, what exactly is the apocalypse? So I went on over to my friend Google, honey, and I put it in. And it said the apocalypse means like the end of the world, or something so destructive it seems like the world has ended, like the event of a major earthquake. The apocalypse is the total destruction of the world as prophesied in the Bible and Revelations, in the book of Revelations. So it's like, girl, so she was thinking that the world was about to end. But it's like, girl, who you thought was the apocalypse leader? Was it you? Because now I don't really think about the apocalypse. I've seen people who prep for it all the time. Back in the day, people been prepping for it ever since 1999, girl. They call preppers. They are preppers. They've been prepping for the so called apocalypse. Now, every time I saw a movie with the apocalypse, it seemed like it was about zombies and stuff like that, come causing the end of the world. And it's like, girl, now that's eerie. Okay, so that's what I was thinking about. The end is coming because there's zombies walking around trying to eat you, baby, trying to eat your brain. Okay, whatever they wanted. Okay, but her, who did she think was the person that was going to end the day for her, or end things for her in her world? Did she know it was her? I don't know, because if you checked out my video when I was talking about the eclipse, okay, I talked about the day of the eclipse on April the 8th. And I was telling you guys that it was all about balancing out your shadow side, just like the eclipse. The eclipse, the earth, the sun, and the moon came together in perfect harmony, okay, which means the shadow side, which is the moon, the light side, which is your light attributes, came in complete alignment with you, which is the earth. So, and I was telling everybody that it's important that you align all those things together to make who you are, to form who you are, because we can't just lean towards our light attributes, our light side of things, okay? Because it's a balance here. We do have a shadow side, okay? And we have to be able to bring that shadow side into us and accept it, embrace it, okay? Learn from it, okay? Because I feel like you need every aspect of you. Now, like I said, you can't lean too much and lead too much with your shadow attribute, I mean, your light attributes, because again, you'll be pushed over. People walk all over you. They'll treat you like a doormat. You won't have no respect. You'll just be below. Okay, so below. Now, if you lead too much with your shadow attributes, okay, that gives me the sign of an evil villain. Okay, somebody that's so angry, so mad, okay, so resentful, okay, and you can't lead with that, because the shadow attributes of you is angry, is mad, and then you can't lead with that. You have to balance those two out because your shallow attribute is here to protect you, okay, to make sure that that you are taken care of, that you can survive a situation. Your light attribute is to get you through, to make you happy in the good times. You need both of those, okay? Because you can see so many people that allow bullies to push them over and to hurt them every day because they're too afraid to tap into their shadow attributes to come in and help protect them. Okay, so they be leading with their light attributes, thinking that if they give the bully the lunch money, if they let the bully punch on them, and maybe he'll stop. They never stop. They never stop. Your shallow attribute has to come in to protect you, to step in, to tell this bully, no, not today. You mess with the wrong one today. Okay, and protect yourself. Now, again, if the bully itself is leading with its shadow side, because a bully to me is somebody who's being bullied at home or being treated badly at home. So they come to school or wherever work or wherever they're coming to find somebody that's weaker than them to make them feel a certain type of way. So they lead with their shadow side, and to me, that's evil. That's dark. Okay, because you need to balance. The bully need to balance out their shadow side, okay? Because they leading with that shadow side because they receiving so much shadow work, so much shadow treatment at home, behind closed doors, that they don't feel like the light is there to protect them because they know in that type of situation they can't lead with their light either, okay? So they sometimes put their light behind them and bury it so deep, and they just leave straight with that shadow when they get bigger or something like that because they be trying to. It's almost like they learned, okay? They learned from their past. They learned from their experience, okay? So, but you have to balance out the both. That's why you need counseling so that you can bring back your light side of you, okay? Because the light side probably was beat out of the bully. That's why he leading with that shadow side. They don't give him an excuse to do it, but they're just saying that he need counseling. He need to work on his light attributes, bring that back, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, he wasn't born that way. So you have to balance it out. Now, I'm just going to see what attributes she was leading with, okay? So we can just assume that she definitely was leading with her dark shadow attributes, okay? And I just want to know why, okay? Now, they say she was living in LA. Was rent due? Okay, because rent is high over there, okay? And your shadow attribute, tired of paying, okay? So that could have been an issue. Did she have a nervous breakdown, a mental breakdown? Was the family too? Because her family the one that caught the worst of it. But then again, she took herself out as well. So did she think that she was saving them from something? But she couldn't even save herself. That's why I say it's important that you focus on you. Focus on you. Get yourself right, okay? Because if you're not right, the people around you are not safe. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into it now. I'm going to give you a little more details on her if you haven't heard. That, again, she was astrologer, and she was so-called prepping people, over 100,000 people on X for the apocalypse. But it's just like, was you protecting them from you, girl? Okay, couldn't you see in the astrology cards and that you was the one that needed the help? Okay, you was the one that you should have been prepping you. But I don't know, girl. I don't know. It's just something that I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm just trying to think of different scenarios that could possibly be, but I can't wrap my mind around what she did because she had a 8-month-old baby, and she had a 9-year-old daughter, and she had a boyfriend that lived with her. The first person she got rid of was the boyfriend. Okay, she took a sharp object and just used it on him until he was no longer here. Okay, he was lifeless, and then she left a trail of his blood all throughout the apartment, left the door open, and she fled the scene. Then she jumped in her car and hit the 405 freeway. And while she was driving on the freeway, out of all things, you know how busy that LA traffic is, okay? But they said she was doing this at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? Rush hour about to start. She jumped in her car with her 2 children, okay? And I just couldn't even picture how she did this. That while she was driving, she pushed them off out of a moving car. It's like, wow, girl. How did you do that and drive? And how could you do that and look at your children and do that? At this point, she must have seen red. Because remember, she just did that to her boyfriend. So at this point, she probably seeing red. Did they have a fight? Did the boyfriend and her have a fight before, or something like that? Then I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't even want to. But then she pushed the baby out, and I think she pushed them both out together because they said that the 9-year-old was holding the baby, and so she pushed them out together. And then on impact, the baby was hit by a vehicle, and and you can just imagine what happened there. And so the baby was instantly gone, and then the 9-year-old made it through. Bless her heart. She definitely gonna need some work done when she get back to bring back her light attribute, because she just lost, the 9-year-old survived it, but she lost her whole family, and she knew that her mother did it. So she definitely gonna need some work to bring back her light attributes, because if not, she gonna have nothing but shadow in her. Okay, and then after she did that, she went up to 100 miles an hour and took her vehicle and rammed it into a tree. And then, of course, on impact, she was gone. So we're gonna pull some cards and just see what is the her attributes. What did she lead with? Okay, what was the reason for this? Okay, is it something we need to look into when it comes to this eclipse? Because there's a lot of strange things that have been, said about the eclipse. Was it even real? Okay, was that something that was man-made? Okay, did NASA and CERN open up a portal? Is the eclipse a portal? Period. Okay, was it a portal to be opened up to let entities in? And are these entities good or bad? Because you have to think about it. When NASA sent up rockets to the eclipse, it's like, why are y'all shooting up rockets up there? Telling me y'all taking the temperature. Girl, can't y'all take the temperature down here? Y'all been taking the temperature down here the whole time. Now all of a sudden you want to go up there. And why do it matter what the temperature is? You're not gonna be up there. Okay, and then they did that CERN thing. Why did y'all turn the CERN thing on? What are y'all trying to send through? It's almost like they trying to stop something from coming here. And it's almost like they're trying to stop something that could possibly be good coming here. And they're trying to defeat it. They're trying to fight it. It's almost like they had some type of war going up against it. Because it was like too much being done for a simple sun and moon and earth meeting together. That's not a big deal. That's what they say it is. But a part of me kind of feel like it was a portal that was being opened that opens up a certain amount of time. Because in Texas and a lot of places, people have videos saying that they saw UFOs, unidentified flying objects, up there near the sun, okay, near the situation. And then on top of that, if y'all paid attention, if you was out that day, the shadows of things that was around us from trees and stuff like that was giving out a different type of look. Okay, so even I noticed that. Okay, so it's a lot that's going on here, and I feel like we're not getting the truth about it. We're not getting the honest truth about it. They're giving out these free shades so that you can look at it. They don't want you to look at it with the naked eye. But people said that when they took the shades off and looked up there, that's when they saw the UFOs. So did they try? They said if they had the shades on, they wouldn't have seen it. So it's like, what is being hidden? What is going on here? Okay. And then now with so many articles coming out blaming the eclipse on stuff like this that's happening, it's like, how did you know? Because you didn't even talk to her. You didn't even get to talk to her to see what was her mind frame? What was her mental state? You just going by a tweet. And a lot of people was tweeting about this. So, and a lot of people had their own different type of views on it. Okay. And my view was that I felt like you need to get, balance on who you are. Okay, but a lot of people took different other approaches. Okay, so it's like, girl, let's just see what's going on here. Let's go ahead and jump into the reading. I think I gave enough background on the situation as much as I know. So divine angels, if you could please give me the best cards from this deck to describe what was the shadow attributes that Daniella Johnson was leading with that caused her to do this to her family. Okay, what was the situation that caused her to do this to her family? Okay, so these cards are going to tell me the light attribute and the shadow attributes. Okay, hopefully we get as close as we can to what she was thinking. Okay, or what she was feeling, what she was experiencing. Okay, what was in her mental state. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, let's see what cards going to come out here. Oh, shoot. Okay, that seemed like a lot going on, but I just wanted the deck to do what it needs to do here. Okay, so a lot came out here, and what I see is not what I expected. Now we got the King card that came out here. Now the King card, the light attributes of this card speaks about enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. So that kind of explains her having 100,000 followers over there on Twitter. Her, leading people in this situation. But the shadow attributes, what you probably didn't see when it came to her, she had an excessive feeling of entitlement or rulership without restraints. So it's showing that she's showing up as somebody that was a ruler, okay, and she didn't have restraints on her rulership, okay, how she ruled things, which kind of give me that she could possibly, you know, because of her title, her 100,000 followers, she probably felt like she did have some type of reign, okay, and it's like, what kind of reign do you have? And I guess over her family, okay, so that kind of tells us that, a little bit. Then it says the liberator. Now she probably started off good, want to liberate people, trying to shed some light on some things. The shadow attribute speaks about she was imposing her own tranny over those she claimed to liberate and ignoring legitimate constraints. Again, she a rulership without restraints, and then she also ignoring legitimate constraints. Now, the light attribute, what she was showing her followers, that she was freeing herself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. So she thought that she was releasing some negative thought patterns that she could have possibly been having. But did she truly release them? At least she was trying. She thought she was helping people. But did she take her own advice? Was she able to liberate herself? It seemed like she didn't, okay? Hence to what happened. But she was imposing her own training over those she claimed to liberate, which means, especially when she talk about this apocalypse thing, okay, it's like, girl, who gave you word? Okay, but I guess she felt like she had a divine connection, and I guess she felt like the divine God or whoever she worshipped behind closed doors was giving her something about the apocalypse. But it's like, girl, I thought the apocalypse was something or event or something outside of yourself that was coming to you, coming to your family, that's going to cause some type of catastrophe, not you causing the catastrophe. I don't think that. I don't. But clearly, she confused. And then she said she's the king and the prince. Okay, now it seems like that she has some romantic charm and potential for power. So she seemed like, this may be speaking about her boyfriend. Okay, but it speaks about the shadow attributes is using power for self um, aggrandizement. Okay, so it was like if she was all about herself when it came to relationship with her boyfriend. Mm. And then it says she was a servant, okay? Now, this could have been when the kids came in. She probably give so much, serving, giving a lot of herself. But I don't feel like she's taking care of herself. It's like she's taking care of people on Twitter. She's maybe taking care of her boyfriend, taking care of her children. But, and the only thing that she getting is some type of, I don't know, other than using power. Okay, so it's like she's using some type of power she have, but I don't think she really taking care of herself. Now, as a servant, instead, she delights in serving others with a free and loving heart. That's what she showed. She was okay with that. That was her light attribute. But the shadow attribute says she was using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. There we go. There go that LA rent, baby. I knew it. Okay. The LA rent, she probably didn't have it all the way. The boyfriend ain't coming through with his half. And then next thing you know, girl, she was like, yeah, they gonna put us out on the street. That's probably the worst thing that she feel like can happen to her. So she was like, we might as well not even be here no more. Okay. Some people feel that way. Okay. They feel that way. They feel like, before becoming homeless, who knows if they was even able to pay last month's rent. Okay. And this month is probably official. They were like, by the 15th, by the 15th, they already done served you papers and you ready to go to court. They ready to take you to court. They don't play no more. Especially after what happened with that C-19 situation, and the landlords was not getting their money for a long period of time. Now they move fast when it comes to those evictions. Okay, so it seemed like her shadow attributes, there was some lack of money here that was going on, and plus she already talking about the apocalypse. In her mind, being homeless probably was the apocalypse for her. And she said before she be homeless, and then for her being a mother that's serving people, okay, she feel like she probably the head of household of the household, and probably had a boyfriend that wasn't quite providing. I don't know for sure. I ain't pulling on him. I'm just going by what I see from the cards. That may not be providing fully, and she just annoyed with it all. Okay, she probably was taking her anger 100% out on him, and then after she realized what she did to him, she know that's gonna be prison. What's gonna happen to her kids? And then she took matters in her own hand. Next, we got the Hermit card here. Okay, the Hermit speaks about the light attributes. Says she seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. Okay, so she probably, it seemed like she was creative. Okay, because they said that she was a recording artist and an astrologer. So that shows that she had creativity. She had over 100,000 followers on Twitter, which ain't easy. Okay, I don't even got that much. So it seems like the shadow attributes here speaks about she withdraws from society out of negative fears or out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. So again, help those in need, that give me that homeless vibe. So it seemed like she was had a lot on her plate, a lot on her mind. She was stressed out. And instead, before anybody could find out that she homeless or anything like that, honey, because I just feel like that homeless vibe is here, especially in LA. She's trying to make it as an influencer. The last thing she want to do is be homeless. Okay, and she had moments where she would withdraw from society out of fear or just negative judgment of others, people judging her. Okay, and then she had the mystic side of her. Okay, which is the astrology, I guess. She revels in intimate union with the divine. Okay, so in her mind, she had a very good connection with the divine. But the shadow attribute says she had delusional rapport with the divine as well. So so what she thought was a direct contact, it was kind of delusional in her head. That's giving me a mental issue here with her third eye. Okay, so she got a lot of blue cards here, purple cards. Okay, which speaks about her voice, her liberating, speaking to her 100,000 followers. This king and this card right here come out in purple, which means that her there were some delusions here. Okay, and some rulership without restraints. Followed by the lover card. She shows up as a lover, somebody that has great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Okay, but the shadow attribute speaks about obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. So she's very self-destructive, very much self-destructive. And if she was self-destructive to herself, okay, which means she wasn't in balance, she wasn't balanced out, okay, at all. She was very imbalanced. Okay, that means that if she got the ability to harm herself, she would definitely harm the people that she so-called love. Okay, she's an artist. Okay, it speaks about expresses a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So she really felt like her life work was to inspire other people. And I just don't see her focusing on herself at all. The shadow attribute says she uses her talent as an excuse to mistreat others. Again, very behind closed doors, her shadow attributes is to mistreat. So almost like to feel not appreciated, okay, not feeling value. Again, because she's not valuing herself. You can expect somebody or something or anything outside of yourself to treat you any better than what you treat yourself. You have to treat yourself the way that you want to be treated, okay? And with this hermit card, it seems like she just pulls back from society. She pulls back from people. Probably go in her room by herself. And nothing wrong with going and being in solitude sometimes. But you withdraw yourself out of judgment of others and refusing to help those in need. Refusing to help yourself because you are the one in need. And she posing as a starving artist to get some type of pity, elicit pity from people. And then she was a hedonist, which means she was glutton. She was greedy. It speaks about inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrate the beauty in yourself. Okay, so she probably keep her hair done. You see with this red wig she got on, keep her hair done, keep her lashes done. Okay, but you can look in her eyes and say it's just too much deepness that's going on. It's too much in there. Okay, and you can get lost in her eyes, but at the same time, just on the surface of it, you can see already some intense energy. Okay, almost like anger. Okay, with that fire red hair, you can see in her eyes, you can see a lot of deepness, and it's almost like maybe a lot of trauma that she tried to cover up with makeup and looking pretty instead of putting, doing the work. Okay, so she was pretty on the outside, and then almost like I don't want to say ugly in the inside, but she was. Is the shadow attributes are showing an ugly side of her that she didn't want to tap into because she felt like the more she helped people, that it probably would better her. But it's like, no, the more you help you would better you. Now, it seems like the shadow attribute speaks about she pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Okay, again, she had so much, she probably had pleasure things that she did, like whether it was food, whether it was substance, whether it was just, trying to pretty herself up on the outside. It was a detriment to herself, to her own health, and she indulges at the expense of others as well. So yeah, I see a lot of shadow attribute here. I'm not, even though she had a delusional rapport with the divine, it seemed like it was a lot of stuff, a lot of shadow work that she did not, work on. And she was really trying to, because she was trying to liberate other people and stuff like that. But it's like you got to help yourself, heal yourself first before you heal somebody else. And she was not doing that. Okay, at least not to the point that she should have been doing. So let's pull and see what is the energy around her the day that she did this to her family. Okay, what was she thinking? What is the energy around her and, the demise of her family and her? Let's say 3 cards. Okay, so what we have here, that there was some type of transmission. Okay, now did her transmission go out, girl? Okay, now I'm just asking, but that don't have nothing to do with what she did to her boyfriend and her kids. Now that transmission probably went out when she hit that tree, but there was some transmission here. It speaks about spreading of condition, influence, and impact. So it was still going back to the impact that she had on people, the impact that she had on people's life, her being an influencer. Okay, was she not making money like she wanted to, girl? On Twitter, do Twitter pay people? Girl, you should have been on YouTube or something. Okay, but girl, don't come on here with all that type of drama. But it was some type of condition here that she was spreading. Okay, spreading the word, talking to people. Okay, and it speaks about her impact that she had on people. And remember, she don't want people to see or judge her in a harsh way of seeing how she may have been living, how she really was. And it speaks about discipline. Okay, now was she a disciplined person, or was she giving somebody discipline for what they did? Okay, was there something that her boyfriend did that caused her to want to discipline him? Because she's showing up with a lot of masculine energy. She's showing up as the king, the prince. Okay, and she probably feel like she give a lot, and what is he giving? Okay, it speaks about training, consistency, and practice. Was she training for this? Was this something that she was practicing for? Because a lot of preppers be practicing and training for that type of stuff. And then we got natural here. Okay, you see that red hair? It's like whatever this did came to her naturally. She was very authentic, real, and organic. So it's not telling me that she was on no type of substance or anything. It seemed like she was. This is probably just all mental, and it's probably something like, again, this is something she's been planning for, and you can kind of tell by her tweets that she was like, the apocalypse is coming, the apocalypse is here, and so it's like, okay, she prepping for it. Okay, and she was spreading her tranny, she was spreading the bad news, her own thoughts, her own inner feelings. She was spreading to the people that was around her. Okay, so let's see what made her attack her boyfriend. Let's see. Let's find out with this deck. Okay, what caused her to attack her boyfriend? Okay, now before we get that, let me see what's the energy that was around her and her boyfriend. What was the energy around Danielle and her significant other? Okay, 1 card, please. Now the energy around there, it says, by default, I could have attracted unwanted relationships. Wow. So this seemed like a relationship that she no longer wanted. She no longer was into it. And she said by default, she had attracted this person. Which means with her shadow attributes, with the shadow side of her, she attracted somebody that probably had a shadow side to them as well. Okay. And she had to show up as the masculine energy. Okay. Was she being a masculine to protect herself? Was she being masculine because she had to pay all the bills? Was she being masculine for other reason? It says many other relationships or experiences you have attracted, Miss Danielle, you would not have deliberately attracted it if you had been doing it on purpose. Okay, but much of your attraction is not being done by deliberate intent, but rather by default. Oh, so it's whatever she attracted when it came to this man, she didn't intentionally do it. She didn't, is something that she attracted by default. It said it is important to understand that you get what you think about. Okay, her thoughts. Okay, her thoughts be running rampant in her head. You can tell she be in deep thoughts. Okay, now she may not say everything that comes out that she feeling in her head, but this relationship, she attracted it from the thoughts that she was thinking, not by her servants that she's doing. So it's like she giving service and trying to change her outer appearance, and she attracted a man that reflected her inner side, her shadow side. It says, whether you want it or not. Okay, so it's important to understand that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. And chronic thoughts about unwanted things invites or asks for a matching experience. The law of attraction makes it so. So yeah, this is somebody that she didn't want. Okay, she felt like she didn't deserve this type of person. Okay, and I'm from her shadow side. I'm saying that she attracted somebody that wasn't good, that was not good for her, and by default she attracted them because it's all about what you think too. What you thinking is what you pulling into you, whether you want it or not. Now the fact that you thinking it, you probably thinking that, okay, she probably thinking that's a way of healing, okay, or she can't help but to think the thoughts that's going through her head. But the more she keep thinking about it, the more she in thought, the more it's coming to her, and she attracted a man that reflected that. Okay. So give me more about the relationship between Danielle and her significant other before the tragic incident happened. Okay, what do we need to know? This is a woman that snapped. Girl, the card says ain't much more to say. They said the first card, there was conflict here. So there was already conflict that was going on in this relationship. Who knows how their conflict started off with? Okay, was he just not coming home at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because this is when it happened. What are they doing up at that time in the morning? Did he just walk in the door and she had had enough? Okay, but whatever it was a history of this. Okay, and that call it that murmur. Okay, they call it a murmur situation. It seemed like Danielle was at her breaking point and she snapped. And after she snapped on him and did what she did to him, she fled the scene. And then as she was driving, she must have clearly thought that, okay, what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to prison, of course. And where my children going to be in foster home, they're going to be without me. And so in her mind, she thinking, okay, well, we all going to leave here. And so she did what she had to do, or what she felt she had to do. Let's say that, to kind of make sure that in her mind, everybody go to the same place. She probably think that everybody going to heaven. But girl, no. Okay. So let's see. Anything else we need to know here? I think we got the answers that we need to know. So let me make sure what went on with the kids. Okay. So why did she push the kids out the car? Why did Danielle push the kids out the car? What can you let us know? What was she thinking when she did that? What was the purpose of pushing her children out the car? What did the children have to do with it? She could have dropped them off at her grandma's house or a mama's house or something like that. Okay, the only card that came out here is deception. Okay, the deception card. Oh, wow. You see children here? Look at the children in that card. And it looked like it was a lot going on here. She battling with some girl. What it said? She battling with something with horns, and the children just, they just like casualty. Oh, I see the kids being wrapped up in a serpent as well. But okay, now it seemed like she was battling the serpent. Okay, that's what she grabbing at. But the children are wrapped up in it too. So she battling with a demon. She battling with something, within. Okay, or on the outside, or could have been something that happened with the boyfriend. But it's like he gone now. Y'all can just drive to Mexico wherever y'all need to go. But instead, she did what she did, and it was very deceptive energy. Okay. Let me pull one more card when it comes to the children. Why did she do what she did to the children? I see there was conflict with the boyfriend. Why did she do what she did to the children? What can we know from this deck? Okay. So the cards that came out here, that she was in her primal state. Okay. She was very animalistic. Again, like I said, she probably was seeing red. She wasn't seeing clearly. She was out of mind, out of pocket. She was connecting deep within a sacred dance in her instincts. It was her instincts to do this to them. Okay, it was her primal instinct, almost like a survival type of thing, because she was burnt by the sun. Okay, by her ambition, her extension, and her reach. Okay, again, there go those girl. Those 100,000 followers is somebody she making sure they don't find out about it. And her reason. Okay, look at the what she holding in her hand, a skeleton, a head. She listened to advice, think clearly, her intellect. Yeah, she wasn't thinking clearly at all, y'all. She was blanked out. At this point, she was gone mentally. At this point, after she did what she did to the boyfriend, she was not thinking clearly. Her instincts was to do this sacred dance, this ritual when it comes to the children, because she was burnt by the sun. She was burnt by what was going on, okay? She wasn't feeling the love, the warmth, okay? She was hot. She was seeing red, being burnt by the sun, followed by courtesy, okay? And it speaks about thoughtful, polite, and good manners, okay? So, in her mind, girl, I don't know why that card popped out, because that wasn't thoughtful or anything, but it just, I pick up her thoughts. Her thoughts were not clear, okay? And in her mind, she thought that that was the best thing that could happen in that moment, okay, because she was in a very primal survival type of situation here when it comes to the children, and she had already been burnt. She was not thinking intellectually. She was not thinking clearly at all. And then after she did that to her children, she knew there was. Now what was she thinking when she ran into the tree? Okay, what was her thoughts when she hit the tree at the time? She went up to 100 miles an hour, and then she ran into the tree. Okay. Girl, what this card come from? Oh, okay, this is the boyfriend card that got stuck in. Okay, her transgressions. Okay, she was thinking about her transgressions, the flaws, her contradictions, and the mistakes she had just made when she set off this apocalypse in her own life. It's like, girl, even if the rent is due, girl, go ahead and move out, baby. And it ain't the end of the world if you have to live in your car. It ain't the end of the world if you have to go and get a hotel room for a couple of weeks. It ain't the end of the world, girl. I promise you it's not. That was not called for, but it seemed like it all extended back to the conflict that she had with her boyfriend, and it was history of this. It was cycles of this. It kept on coming and kept on coming, because at 5 o'clock in the morning, I can already see he probably walked in the door, baby, trying to beat the sun. And she probably done told him plenty of times, don't come in like that, don't do that, okay? And he did it anyway. Let's see what kind of shit, but remember, this is the type of boyfriend that she attracted by default. So let's look at his shadow attributes real fast. Okay, what are the shadow attributes? The attributes of the boyfriend, okay, that caused her to do this, okay? What was he doing that caused her to do this? Because you know when you do something with a sharp object like that, that's a crime of passion, okay? And then she showing up as a king, baby. She had strength, baby, to get rid of him. Okay, we got that saboteur. Okay, he was a saboteur, which speaks about his shadow attributes. He induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others, which means she done told him plenty of times, don't come in the house that late. Don't come while you stepping in this late. What are you out there doing? You know, I was out there with my cousin. I was helping them fix their car. You know, they all got some kind of lame excuse of why he being a saboteur and still coming into this woman's house. Okay, and the light attribute of him was that he highlights your fears of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life, which means she trying to over there empower herself. She trying her best to work through her shadow side, okay? And because she got a lot of stuff that's deep rooted within her, but she was really trying her best to liberate others, in the process liberating herself. But it seemed like this man right here that she attracted by default came in as a saboteur and just been destructive like a bull in a china shop. Just came in and just knocked over all the things that she was building up and trying to work on. He came in and sabotaged all those things. Okay, with the mediator, honey, it speaks about negotiating with a ulterior motive or a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Which means, again, he had some type of motive that he was not showing. Okay, and she was picking up. Okay, okay, he had some type of side deals, maybe a side chick. Okay, and his light attribute, where he showed her that he had a gift for negotiating fairness and strategic and personal and professional life, respect for both sides of the arguments. Which means he probably was a D man, honey. He probably was a neighborhood D man. Now, again, this is alleged because I don't know neither one of them, but this is what the cards are saying. Said that he had ways of negotiating, okay, and he had ways maybe even to talk her out of a situation. Let's say if he come in 5 o'clock in the morning, he knew how to kind of come up with excuses and reasons that he was out. That she would trust, and then she, after a while, after he kept on doing it, okay, cycles of it, okay, history of it, she wasn't falling for it no more, okay, girl, cause look what he was out with, okay, prostitutes, girl. It says places material and consideration and security above self-empowerment. The light attribute, he accentuates the challenges of surviving while negotiating the power of spirit. Okay, he out there throwing money, baby. Probably at the strip club, probably throwing money on loose women, baby. Okay, cause seeker, because he was lost himself. He was lost himself, always out there seeking and looking for something. Always out there seeking attention for women. Always out there seeking, let him tell it money. Always out there seeking something, okay? In his personal and business life, it was combined together. The shadow attribute speaks about he had an inability to commit to a path once he found. Okay, he probably was a man of all trades, a jack of all trades. Constantly always out there seeking something. And even when he finds something he good at, do he stick to it? Probably not. And she was tired of this, okay? And then because his light attribute said he had a thirst for wisdom and the truth wherever they are, okay? So he had a thirst for something. He was always looking for something. And remember, she attracted him by default because of her shadow side, okay? The things that she was thinking. She was thinking he probably was out there cheating. He probably was, okay? She was thinking that, she trying to get, she in her mind, she want a good man, but she thinking about her past that she probably been through, okay? Past, whether he was a father of children or not, she probably had an ex that did her a certain type of way, and she hadn't let that situation go, so she attracted a man that did the same type of thing. And so it was history of this, and she had took all she can take, okay? She trying to empower herself and everything like that, and then this keep on happening. She was done with it, okay? It was more than she can take, more than she can handle, and her primal instincts came in, and then a ritual kicked in with her, or some type of sacred dance. She had to, once she started the tango, she had to finish it, okay? And that's what she did. So that's gonna be the reading for Miss Danielle Johnson, okay? I do send prayers, and I just hope that the 9-year-old can make it through this tragic situation, and and have a good life for herself, okay? With a lot of help, I'm sure she can. So that's gonna be the reading, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.